weapons, aren't they?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things.
And you guys also said that these attacks are happening right here in this city. Is that correct?
I mean, there have been some that have gone public with respect to Washington, D.C.
I think it was Mr. Grozev said you spoke to a Russian agent who said that they believe that Americans are using these same weapons on them. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Might that have something to do with part of the CIA's motive to cover up the existence of this tech and these weapons?
That is a very logical possibility.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Goldman, for his round of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being here. Mr. Grozev, I want to follow up a little bit on the interactions you've had with Russian intelligence about these AHIs. And Mr. Zaid, I want to ask, and this is a hypothetical, but I'm trying to understand.
Weapons, aren't they?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things.
And you guys also said that these attacks are happening right here in this city. Is that correct?
I mean, there have been some that have gone public with respect to Washington, D.C.
I think it was Mr. Grozev said you spoke to a Russian agent who said that they believe that Americans are using these same weapons on them. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Might that have something to do with part of the CIA's motive to cover up the existence of this tech and these weapons?
That is a very logical possibility.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Goldman, for his round of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being here. Mr. Grozev, I want to follow up a little bit on the interactions you've had with Russian intelligence about these AHIs.
You've seen this journal before when it went viral, but what they didn't mention was its dark history. You see, in 1983, the CIA adopted something called Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP, in its Career Training Development Program. This journal guides the reader through the NLP principles used to escape the programming of your environment and instead learn to program both yourself and those around you. The technique is so effective, in fact, that one of the founders, Richard Bandler, after being charged with murder just 3 years after NLP's introduction to the CIA, was acquitted of all charges. Bandler's jury just couldn't reach a verdict, and the case resulted in a mistrial. The journal can be used to access parts of you that need healed, sure, but in the wrong hands, it can be a dangerous source of power.
Faster! What happened? Reverse!
Imagine like you're walking up to the ATM, okay, and you're gonna type in that ATM PIN number, but don't move your fingers, but think about typing it, okay? Keep your hand right there. Look at me, and in your mind, you go through the number one digit at a time like this. $2013.
Like right now, I want you to imagine that I reached in your head and I pulled out a thought. It could be any thought, but as you look at it, you realize it's your name. So I toss it into the air, it drifts away into the night sky, into the black. You can no longer see your name, and in fact, it's gone from your mind. You no longer remember your own name. It's completely wiped away. And the harder you try to remember it, the more impossible it becomes. I'm Max. What's your name? Try to find it. Notice you can't. What's your name?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know your own name?
No.
Don't say it, but do you know her name?
Yeah.
Do you know this guy?
Yeah.
What's his name? What's your name? It's gone.
When a random person walks on stage.
Hi, how you doing? I'm David, and your name? You want to see something crazy? Yeah. Your right foot is stuck to the ground. Go and take a step forward for me. Are you tying your shoe? Do you think? Yeah. Can you move your right foot at all? No. Look now at jump feet. Your left foot stuck. It's crazy, isn't it? Both feet are now stuck. Can you move any of your feet? Yeah, crazy, right? Yes. Stuck. Yeah. Stuck. Try to touch my finger. I'll give you $10 if you can touch my finger. With your hand. When I snap my fingers, you're gonna move everything. You could have a seat right there for me. Sleep, drift away. That's it.
Good afternoon, my lovely butterflies. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video or check out some of my existing content. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Welcome and welcome back once again, guys. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a blessed and amazing day. I pray that everyone is continuing to take care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love you guys so much, and it's always the love and support that you show me on this channel is always greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, please hit that post notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a video. And guys, in today's video, I will be discussing NLP programming and how I feel it is being used as a gang stalking and mind control tactic against targeted individuals. Now, this program was created in the 1970s by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. And the program revolves around these techniques that include studying the thought patterns and behaviors of successful therapists. Now, they believe that by doing so, that these patterns can be replicated and passed on to others who desire to be successful as well. And now today, years later, there are several self-proclaimed NLP coaches out here who not only perform these techniques on various people all over the world, but they also offer in-person and online training courses to anyone who is interested in becoming a NLP programming coach themselves. Now, according to online research, this program has become very popular over the years, and this is due to the many benefits involved, such as improving a person's communication skills, assisting with overcoming fears, helping to eliminate depression and anxiety, as well as increasing personal growth factors. Now, however, many have become concerned with this program. And after doing some research, I understand why. There are some possible dangerous effects involved. And many people are feeling that NLP coaches could possibly be using these programs for their own selfish purposes. Now, guys, there are a couple of risk factors that I'm about to discuss with you guys, and one of which is manipulation and control. Now, NLP techniques can be used to manipulate and influence the behavior and thoughts of other people if fallen into the wrong hands. Meaning that if there is an unethical, diabolical NLP practitioner out there who chooses to use these techniques to manipulate and control the minds of their clients, they will be open to do so. Because as we all know, words are very, very powerful, and the repetition of words and certain phrases can lead to, I don't know how to say it, but I don't want to use new age spiritual terms, but words can manifest into your reality. Everything is spiritual. That's why it's very important to speak life into yourself always, guys. Quick disclaimer. Another risk factor, guys, is misinformation and pseudoscience. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I said a lot of these coaches out here are self-proclaimed. And that is because although these techniques are being presented as a psychological method, they lack scientific evidence. So these techniques rely on unverified claims. there is little to no scientific evidence out there supporting the results of NLP programming. So at this point, guys, I feel that it's safe to say that it is a form of unvalidated hypnosis that people are using to program and manipulate the minds of others in order to give them the reality that they desire, which to me sounds like a form of witchcraft. Another risk factor, guys, is the overestimation of abilities. And that means that some NLP practitioners have claimed that this program allows their clients to develop almost superhuman abilities, such as the ability to read the thoughts of others or make infallible decisions. Such claims can lead to excessive self-esteem and distort reality. Guys, you have NLP practitioners admitting, they're coming out saying that these techniques are allowing their clients to feel like superhumans because the words that are being spoken into them is programming their mind to develop a perceived reality of themselves and their environment. They're distorting people's reality with hypnosis. And guys, this can lead to some very detrimental results. A person can be led into the wrong direction through this type of programming. A person can be led away from their true purpose, from God, participating in this type of programming and training. Now, guys, speaking of the third risk factor that I just discussed, NLP practitioners coming forward saying that these techniques have actually given their clients almost superhuman abilities, such as reading thoughts or making infallible decisions. Now, guys, that brings me to talk about how NLP programming is not only being used to program the minds of people who desire to become successful, but it's also being used to help law enforcement by analyzing police reports and extracting relevant information. Guys, that's baffling to me, because not only have I realized that this program is a form of hypnosis and mind reading and being used by self-proclaimed coaches all over the world who is using non-validated information to program the minds of people all around them, innocent people. It's also being used by the servers of our communities as well. Now, guys, I've done some research, and there have been a couple of incidents resulting from law enforcement using this type of programming. Not only are law enforcement using NLP to extract relevant information and to analyze police reports, but they're also using it in interrogation rooms and when they're also using lie detector tests. And they're saying that they're doing this by reading the body language and thought patterns of the criminals or the possible people in questioning. This technique, predictive policing, this is the NLP technique used by law enforcement to help them predict where violent crimes are likely to take place. Guys, is it just me, or is the world relying on technology and witchcraft and divination for everything? No one has the patience and the faith to wait on God to do anything, to lead them anywhere. It seems most people these days, everything is being ran by AI and other forms of modern technology, as well as witchcraft and other forms of divination. You know, me personally, guys, I feel that NLP is a form of hypnosis that is being used by the government and other corporations to use positivity in order to disguise their own negative intentions. Now, guys, with that being said, I want to discuss these NLP techniques that are being used by NLP coaches on their clients all over the world, and also being used by law enforcement on criminals and possible people in questioning, or I'm just going to say alleged criminals, guys, okay? Just to be safe. Now, one of which is mirroring and pacing. In this technique, the NLP practitioner mimics the body language and gestures, as well as the speech pace of their clients in order to gain a trusting relationship with them. This puts the other person into a more comfortable state, making them more receptive to the influence. Now, guys, pretty much the way I see this is what a lot of people do when they're either a narcissist or they're someone who practices witchcraft and divination. They will mirror you in order to get you to feel comfortable with them. This is also a technique used in gangstalking as well. I have a video on mirroring. If you haven't already, checked that video out, guys. But it talks about how gangstalkers will mirror you, pretty much do the same things that you do, say the same things that you say, agree with everything that you say. You know, you can say, oh, it's hot outside, and they can be cold, and they will say, yeah, it is hot. Or you can say, I'm hungry. They can say, me too. You know, you can scratch your head. They do the same. It's just mirroring you to make you feel more comfortable with this person. And it can put you in a state of vulnerability in certain situations. And if an NLP practitioner that has bad intentions is using this technique against their client, this is their way of getting them comfortable before placing them under hypnosis. Another technique is linguistic patterns. This is when the practitioner uses repetition, suggestions, and hypnotic factors. And they do this repeatedly. When they do this, it triggers their client's unconscious mind. Once they have their client's mind in an unconscious, controlled while it's in an unconscious state, this allows them to steer the thoughts of their clients, which means at this point, I feel that it's safe to say that their clients is under full hypnosis at this time. Meaning that at this point, the NLP practitioner has full control over the mind, thoughts, and behaviors of their clients. And they can lead them into any direction that they wish. Another technique that's used with NLP programming is anchoring. Anchoring is a technique where specific touches, words, or smells can be used to trigger a certain emotional response. Now, the NLP practitioner can use these anchoring techniques to control the desired emotions that they feel that they want to get from their client. A certain word, a certain touch, a certain smell can determine the emotional state of their clients. Now, this, I feel, is what happens once the mirroring, getting them comfortable in order to receive the hypnosis, the linguistic patterns, the repetition, the suggestions, placing them in that hypnotic state. in order to steer their thoughts. I feel that once this takes place, this is where the anchoring comes in. And this is where they begin to control the thought patterns and the behaviors of their clients through certain words, smells, or touch. Guys, all of these techniques that I just named are all involved in gang stalking programs. They're all used by gang stalkers. They're all techniques that are created by the handler that are passed on to gang stalkers in order to harass and monitor targeted individuals. And this is proven through research. So it just makes you wonder, why would this program involve using known gang stalking techniques? It's because they're all being presented by the same people behind the scenes. And when you think about the 1950s, where the CIA was conducting all of these mind control experiments, they did it in various ways, but it was all for the same diabolical intentions: to intrude the thoughts of their enemies, to harass their enemies. You know, nothing new is under the sun. So, you know, it's just various techniques with the same intentions by the same dark people behind the scenes. And it's crazy because these programs are being created in order to control someone. It lets you know that it is all spiritually being orchestrated by the enemy. His continuous attempt to control God's children. He's steady coming up with different ways. He's using people on this earth that already possess diabolical hearts to carry out these plans by deceiving other people. There's many people who are coming into these new age spiritual techniques and they're not aware that it's being conducted by the enemy. They feel that it's something that can help them transform their lives, make them a better person. You know, a lot of people's desire to become successful can sometimes make them do some unethical things. Many of the times, you know, sometimes when you want something so bad and you don't have God on your side, you can be led into things. And I think we all have been deceived by the enemy more than once. But we have to pray for discernment so we won't fall into these type of things. You know, it's very obvious to many that these coaching programs are not coaching you to become a better version of yourselves. It's coaching you into the ways of the enemy. It's coaching you on how to carry out his work. And it's all being disguised as something positive. And this is why when you call these type of things out, when you bring them to the forefront, a lot of people who are deceived, they will say that you're being negative. They will call you a hater. They will say that you're jealous when you're only trying to get them to see what's really going on. And guys, that's why I make these type of videos, because I do want to continue to spread awareness. Even if people don't agree with me shedding light on certain things because they don't see it that way, I will continue to do so. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and I have more content coming your way. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, share this video, guys. Give this video a thumbs up. I hope you guys have a great and amazing weekend. I pray that everyone continues to take care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love you guys so much. And until the next video, peace and blessings. Mwah.